What it do?
All in Check podcast. It's your girl StaceFresh.
And I'm ARS. This is episode number 2.
Yeah. So, what are we going to talk about today, Anthony?
Okay, so obviously here we have your topic, and it's pretty much about Purist, old school versus the new school rap. So alliterate about the post we had posted up earlier this week.
All right. So, I ran across this post from Peter Rosenberg on Twitter. And for those of you guys that are not familiar, he is a radio host on Hot 97 over there in the East Coast. And this is what he wrote. Older hip-hop fans need to stop hating every single lil or young that comes along. This is not for us, just like ODB wasn't for Curtis Blow fans. It continues to grow and evolve. Roll with it or just listen to your 90s playlist and shut up.
Wow, that's pretty blunt. You know what I mean?
It is.
Not a lot of people like to, especially people like on that platform or level, don't like to speak out like that. But I think Peter Rosenberg really doesn't give a shit. And he has the following, I guess, our core following, and it's been in this game long enough to just speak his mind. People are going to judge him on it, honestly, but I think it's ballsy and it's just the honest truth. Like yourself and myself, for the longest time, I was so anti-mainstream music, so I really can't talk shit, and I kind of support what he's talking about. But at the same time, I used to kind of like not even lie. I used to hate on like new artists coming out, but it's like, bro, you have to get with the times. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't hate on everybody that's coming out.
Definitely. Okay, so it's ballsy of him because he does work in mainstream radio. Mm-hmm. Hot 97 is definitely, they play, it's like your Power 106 of LA mm-hmm. or your Real 92.3. That's that over there on the East Coast. And it is one of the, I think it is the first hip hop station over there on the East Coast. There's so much history that goes into that station.
Exactly.
But let me say this about Peter Rosenberg, that for those of you that know him, like on or follow his media stuff, you guys would know that he is also a quote unquote real hip hop head.
Yeah.
Because he does know about the Little Brothers. He does know about like right here, like the Curtis Blow, the Wu-Tang Clan, like.
Yeah, he knows. He done his homework on hip hop, and he grew up in the era, so he knows a lot.
Yeah, so he knows what's up with that. It just so happens he is part of this mainstream culture. That is his career. That is what he works at. Mm-hmm. So he does have to be open-minded. And then we put this up and we had people, throw their comments on what they thought about this. And they were kind of going hard at him. And they were kind of like saying, well, he's a chump, like he doesn't know what he's talking about. Like trying to discredit his hip hop badge.
I'm actually seeing some of these comments. It's crazy.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I just want to talk about that because that all ties into like the hip hop politics, like you said.
Yeah.
Okay. At one time, I too was on that little boat. Like, fuck the radio. Like, it's all about underground hip hop. Like, I went through that little phase. Especially, I mean, if you were at Pay Dues, if you were at Rock the Bells,
or like you said, if you were at like those shows, like when you were part of the Observatory before it got to the platform it's at now. Just being a part of those shows and seeing the guys that would come out and open up or the artists they were opening up for was a whole different type of artist that we are now seeing in the media today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was really different and humbling and opening experience to be willing to try listening to new artists or be open to different sounds instead of just being stuck in, in a box. That's pretty much what I felt like for the longest time. But I think dabbling into radio and then just realizing like you got to open your ear and open your sound to different views and try different things, and that's kind of where we're at now. I think I could say for the both of us is that we're open to new music now.
Yeah, I mean, you have to, especially I think if you're trying to be in media or even if you're someone like him that is in mainstream media, you definitely have to keep an open mind. You don't necessarily have to be a diehard fan for it.
Yeah,
but you have to keep an open mind and critique it to your best ability to present it to the public.
Yeah. Even if you can't understand what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can't understand what
That
they're saying,
designer shit.
yeah, like if you can't understand what they're saying, like
Panda, panda, panda. That's
the-
all I know. Hey, but you know what? There is that meme that goes around that says Busy Bone when he would rap from Bone Thugs and Harmony. We didn't know what that motherfucker was saying either.
yeah, but then
The
when they would
sound is,
like,
but he's considered hip hop, right?
yeah, but then when they print out the lyrics, it's like, oh, so that's what he was saying. You try to decipher the lyrics of today, and
Go
it's
to
just like
azlyrics.com
all
or
you see is
genius.com.
pills and lean, pills and lean. Like,
You know what? But I was just having a conversation about that. Yeah. Okay, so that's a topic that they're bringing up in the comments. It's more so the
Yeah, I seen that.
content
Look
that
it
they're
right here.
that they're
What is it?
talking about. Go ahead and read one of those.
Cali.loud_2lit. He said, he don't know what he's saying. All them pills and lean getting to them kids.
Okay, so let me elaborate on that. All right, there's a heavy, like this new generation, yeah, they're promoting the lean, they're promoting, pill popping, all this shit. But let me tell you what, I was 12 years old, and again, don't judge me for this. I bought this Ja Rule CD. He has a single called Ecstasy. He's talking about being on ecstasy, about how he's gonna fuck this bitch, and it just feels so good to be on ecstasy, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the first time I heard about ecstasy. Then I would go listen to Bone Thugs and Harmony. They have another song called Ecstasy,
Yeah.
and it goes like, "Oh, I'm so high." Like, yeah, some shit like that.
There was
And
like a cool little melody to it.
yeah,
It would
okay.
make you want to do some drugs.
Exactly.
It was a cadence to make you go do some drugs.
And then listen to this. Who is it? Man, I don't know if it's 3-6 Mafia or UGK, but sipping on some scissor.
God, that's 3-6.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Scissor.
that's
right?
not just that though, but see, they were doing it back when like that was their era of that. That's how they got down. Now it's like a fad. You know what I'm saying? Like if you ain't
Right.
doing that, who are you? Pretty much, they were doing that was their vice back then. That's what I'm saying. This ain't nothing new. It's just now it's being aired out because people are dying from it. People are getting sick from it. And now everyone's talking about it like it's the newest alcohol. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's pretty much doing it. You know what I'm saying? So
but I'm saying like
it's nothing
the
new.
content is nothing new.
Oh, exactly.
It's just a different sound to it.
Mm-hmm.
The people are dressed a different type of way. They look a different type of way. They don't look gangster. They look like, I mean, I was gonna say something harsh, but they look like they're soft.
Yeah.
They're soft rappers. They're just kids.
They just look like crackheads that could rap.
Exactly.
Sorry. Nah, sorry for that one. No, I'm not. But I don't know. I think like it's funny because I follow Tech9 on Twitter and on Instagram, and it's like he's always posting stuff like I was a weirdo before these weirdos, and I agree. Like that dude was dyeing his hair. He was doing like weird hair and having the weird style before it was like in, and he's not all drugged out. You know what I'm saying? He's just doing his own thing.
And people consider him hip hop. I mean, I would say so.
And he's killing it independently.
Mm-hmm.
Message.
And then, well, let me see. What else?
There's like so many comments on this.
Yeah, there
thing.
was a lot of comments on this. And then let's go to Cisco, the producer. He took the quote as, I took it as sit back and let hip hop die. There's a difference with these new artists. It's more popularity being promoted than talent as compared to then. That's the issue. These actions outside of the music overshadow the actual music. So how are the quote unquote old heads supposed to react? And that's true, because it's like back then, I guess, we didn't have social media to the scale that we have it now. And all these rappers are documenting everything that they do.
And that's like, I don't know if we had this conversation, but I think we did. It was talking about like before, and I remember they were talking about this on the Breakfast Club one time, like before, now you have full access to every artist through social media. Like, and it's true what they were talking about. I think they were talking to Big Crit about this. Before you used to be excited about getting the Source Mag or any magazine that had an article on an artist that you truly loved and followed. That was your only way to get their bio or find out about them. or you would have to buy their CD to open up the cover and
Mm-hmm.
read their bio and check the track listing and all that. Like that was how you knew about your artist. Now you're seeing them on a daily basis, where they're gonna go eat, what they're doing, them in the studio, them in the gym, them at the club. Like you're seeing their daily life, and everyone has access to that. The whole world has access to their life, and I think it's not like special, like too special anymore, because you could pretty much see, just like we can see our friends, our family, or people that we know on an everyday, type, like people that we know very close to us that are our peers. We could see what they're doing every day.
Mm-hmm.
Not only do we do that, but we could see artists that we would like to interact with, and that's pretty much the closest way we will interact with them, is by watching their social media. A lot of them go live, a lot of them do Q&As with their followers now, which is definitely a good thing, because it's helping their fan base, and they're staying up with it. You know what I mean? They're keeping up with their social media, and it's keeping them very relevant. It's keeping them in tune with their people that they're interacting with. But at the same time, it just doesn't make anything special anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think the days of artistry are kind of like, now that you got SoundCloud, like, and I'm not dissing anything, because hello, I'm a SoundCloud rapper too, I guess you can consider. Like, I'm not trying to put myself on that platform, but technically that's the realm I come from. That's how I try to, since my past was trying to, since SoundCloud started, that's how I was trying to venture out some of my music too, being a newer artist. And I understand it and I respect it to a certain point, but at the same time, I feel like it's kind of why there's a separation between old artists and new artists. Is like, old artists feel like I had to grind way harder for this than you guys are doing now.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, if you can generate a good buzz and market really, really well, it's all like a marketing scheme. It's how you package yourself, really. And I feel like if you master that, you're killing it. So your sound could be like whatever, but if you got, not only if you have some sort of talent or sound, but if your marketing game's on point and your look is like, oh, this dude's in, you know what I mean? Like, if it's sellable and people like it, the kids gotta like it. If the kids like it, they're gonna, you're winning. That's really what it is. It's the new generation. If they're liking it, or the big companies are pushing that, of course it's, I don't know. That's what I was gonna ask you. Is it brainwashing, or is it really what's hot and we just don't understand it? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's really hard to call it.
I like what Infinite TGM said. He put hip hop's bar is just way lower than it used to be. That's all. Like, you don't need fancy metaphors or rhyme schemes to make it. Things change all the time, for some for bad, some for good. We can do nothing but accept it and evolve.
That's some real stuff right there.
And yeah, like I guess for this generation, like the bar is low. Like if you, like back then, like you had the Nas, you had like the Tupac, like hip hop was still what, 10 years in when they dropped, or maybe 15 years in when they dropped.
Yeah.
So it was still new. Like, it hadn't evolved much, but there was this standard of, you had to be hard, you had to spit to a certain level.
Yeah, but
at
even
that time.
Excuse me, but even then they had trash though. Even then they had people that were trying to make it pop. You know what I'm
Like
saying?
MC Hammer. I like some of the MC Hammer songs, but
Yeah,
like, that was considered pop. Like, your bars weren't up to par.
Yeah,
that
so
was
it's like,
that boo boo shit.
That's where the opinions and people going back and forth with it is like, well, it's part of that generation. You know what I mean? But I just feel for every generation, for every year, that some dope stuff comes out, some trash comes out. Then there's stuff that we can agree on, and then there's gonna be tons of stuff that we disagree on. And I don't know, it's really hard, because there's hip hop heads that I know who, that something that I would think like, damn, that's hip hop, that's dope, they will think it's trash. Like, everyone's opinionated, and that's just it. It's like, we don't live somewhere where it's like, you better have the same opinions as me, else you're getting your head cut off. Like, it's not like that. So everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and I just feel like that's pretty much what's judging all this music. Like, it could be good music and have a good sound, but you could just be like, I really just don't like this one particular thing, and then it just makes you hate that artist or something. You know what I mean? And I think that's boo-boo. But that's how we judge music sometimes, or because someone else told you about it. That's what sucks about artists trying to, gain a following, or like, it has to be trendy sometimes. But then, like, you or other people, they take their time, they'll dig through the crates, or they'll do their research on someone and really take their time and find an artist, and that's how they get put on. You know what I mean? So it's really it's really based on like you guys, the people listening. It's on your judgment, but it's like it's such a heated topic all the time. Like you can't go in a room and have a calm conversation about hip hop sometimes. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
no, no,
Unless you
no.
guys are like vibing out and some smooth jazzy stuff. But if it's like hip hop, like bar for bar, who's got the most consecutive albums?
You always
Who's
got that one person that takes it a bit too far, like their life depends
yeah,
on.
they will box you in the street over who's a doper rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like they will try to just nitpick. And I know people personally, they're listening. Nah, but
That's you. Yeah, I'm talking about you.
nah, but straight up though, like I don't know, it's a good topic, but it's also crazy. To me it's like, bro, music's music because I listen to all music, so it's like, but when it comes to hip hop, it's like people are like so crazy about it, but you know, they'll even rest in peace to the greats that have gone away, but people are still trashing them and bashing them for the music they did at their time. Like at the time they did the music, it was their music they created, they crafted that. So you can't go back and start bashing people for the music for back then. Like leave them alone, let them rest already. Like cut that shit out. That shit just it pisses me off. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's one thing that irks me is like when people are bashing the dead who've laid a platform and a foundation for us. Like leave that shit alone. Don't be bringing up the past. What happened back then happened. Now let's move forward. Let's create and keep moving. Like stop bashing people who came before us, and you can't knock that because you didn't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Kid Rudy. He was just like, I'm going to just keep it simple and say I agree. People should spend more time supporting what they actually fuck with instead of wasting so much time bashing shit that they don't.
Exactly. Shout out to Kid Rudy. That's the mentality right there. And
Because it's true. If you want your artist to be on top, you put other people, let's say Joey Badass, right? I am a Joey Badass fan. So I'm going to try to put as many hip hop people up on Joey Badass so that they're intrigued enough to check him out and buy his album. That's the only way we will get him on that mainstream level that people will, each one teach one. I put you up on Joey, you might buy his album, that'll get him numbers, that'll, make him be on top.
yeah.
And that's how you weave out the other people. Like you said, it is all about a trend. If we get as many people up on this artist, he might pop off on a large scale. And guess what? He's not talking that boo-boo, which means you are going to be content with the content that he's putting out on a large scale.
Yeah, not only that though, but like going back to that, like I see a couple of people's comments, like they're going in on Rosenberg. But the thing is that like I understand your comments and how you feel against him, but at the end of the day, listen to me. He is a radio personality. Like if you guys haven't done no research on him, like hello, I have. But look it. They are radio personalities. So they are meant to be here to be controversial. Some of them are purists. Some of them respect the art 100% and give it 100% all the time. And they go to back and defend the culture 100%. But a lot of them are just puppets in this music industry that are here to just be another part of their moving machine. So you got to understand, they got to be controversial. They have to bring up topics that no one likes to talk about. They have to do things that stands out because it's a numbers game. It's all about ratings. It's about generating a buzz, making their station grow, standing out. So you have to understand, like, yes, I believe he is for the culture. Yes, I believe he does speak on some good topics. Sometimes, like, people are over here mentioning things that he's talked about and whatnot.
Like when he went in on Nicki Minaj. Okay, so back early in his career, he had said something, I think on the Summer Jam stage, about Nicki. And him and Nicki had some beef. And he did like a sit down interview. She wouldn't come up to Hot 97 for a hot minute because of how he dissed her or whatever. And then they squashed that. He put out his point of view, blah blah blah. But I think he's always like, he may not be the biggest Nicki Minaj fan, but he has to respect her hustle. You get me? So he has, as a media person, he has to keep that open mind. And it goes back to, I may not like your music, I may not buy your music, but I have to respect what you're bringing to the game, because on a mass scale, you're basically in the culture because these people have put you there.
Exactly. That's
consumer. The consumer.
That's exactly what I was gonna agree on you with, is that right there. Like for the longest time, I don't know, you call me a bitter rapper or be in my own lane and just caught up like bashing. But look at I started to think about it. If these people found a way to turn this passion into paper, into a business, like yeah, there's some people are like, oh, it's about the passion. You gotta stand behind what you're talking about, a message. But look at I'm totally for that. But you got to understand something here. These people learned how to market themselves so well that they became a brand and a business. So that's one thing you definitely have to respect. If they're out here getting paper, paying their bills, putting their family on, supporting people, putting kids through college, you know, there's so many people that'll bash these artists, but behind the scenes, not the ones that just want to be on television and stuff like that, but behind the scenes, they're doing so much work for their community that people won't talk about, but they're able to put people on now. So it's like you got to respect the hustle and the hard work that goes into it. You don't got to like their music, but the ones that aren't arrogant and the ones that have killed their own ego, like they're not all stuck on their ego and that they're really out here doing what they love and making extreme amount of money. You know what I mean? But they're putting people on. They're changing lives as they're moving and they're inspiring the people that like their music. We don't have to like it, but you definitely got to respect someone's hustle because I don't got that money, but I respect it and I want to learn and put myself on how to get that. I want to get to that level. I don't want to bash them. I want to learn how can I accumulate that wealth? How can I put people on? You know what I mean? So in a sense, I agree 100% what you're saying because it's true. Like you may not like them or you may like want to talk crap on them, but how could you when they're out here hustling, making that money? So many people envy that. But it's like instead of envying that, why don't we try to maybe not go the route they did, maybe not do exactly how they do or do the music they do, but why not try something that you can better everyone around you? Or stand for something a little bit more positive, but still on that climb to generate wealth and better yourself. That's how I say, like, that's what started converting my mentality on like bashing the mainstream and this and that. It just made me realize, like, bro, you have to respect that. Like, they're making money. Like, while you're sitting here bashing them and hating on them, they're getting paid. They don't care what you say.
Exactly.
You know, at the end of the day, they'll look at all the nasty comments people leave them and stuff. And I'm sure they won't talk about it, but it messes with their mind to an extent. When people are like constantly telling them they're ugly and you're stupid, your music's whack. Like some of them, I'm sure, like since they're connected to social media, it affects them. You know, I've seen interviews and heard interviews where they talk about that.
Yeah.
But it's like at the end of the day, they're getting money, way more money than some of us will ever see. And you have to respect the hustle in people. That's all I'm saying. And I had to come to realization. Like I said, I'm not perfect. We're not perfect here. And I used to be like so anti-mainstream, but I did that already. Like a long time ago, I did that, and I'm open and understanding more. Before I was not like that. You know what I mean?
I like what Omar Gutierrez said, and he was like, I think there's a difference between new hip hop and trash hip hop. New hip hop, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Logic, Drake, ASAP, Chance. Trash hip hop is all that new stuff that has almost identical flows, beats, and subject matter. It's okay to criticize trash hip hop. Hopefully it dies out like early 2000s Southern hip hop. I don't know. I liked early 2000s Southern hip hop. I liked that Ludacris, but
Oh, he's dope though.
yeah,
He got
he's dope.
stars regardless.
So but it goes back to the new school artists like J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, Logic. Some of these so-called hip hop heads or people that support like the underground hip hop, they will also support these artists.
Yeah, true. And then like I remember, I'm not gonna say names, but I got into a discussion on an artist's page one time, and it was like a really big topic. They were like, "Who do you guys think's like the hottest that are underground?" Or it was like some weird topic, and I put like Kendrick Lamar, and this is when he was barely blowing up. They got hot. Like, yeah, he's from the West Coast, but like they're mad because he's breaking into the mainstream. But it's like, bro, if you put in work and your sound goes, like, why are you gonna take that from someone? Like, oh, they ain't underground, they ain't independent. They're Why are you gonna take that from someone when they finally shine and they're not just a hip hop head, but they become a great artist that's marketable? Like, you can't bash them for becoming something that could sell and something that the world's gonna like. Some people are meant to stay in a certain lane, and some people do not have great marketing, you know what I mean? Or they
Right.
don't have a gimmick or an image. But for some reason, it just, his talent was there. He had a right team and it worked and it could sell and the world loves it. So it's like,
Exactly.
why hate on that? Like the dude came from nothing and you see him rise to something, why you be like, oh, that's not underground or he's not hip hop enough, or that's the thing that pisses me off. Like, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. And at some point, he was rocking your paid dues festivals, like your
Exactly.
underground shit with like only 100 people at the show. And listen, also all your favorite hip hop producers like Ninth Wonder,
Mm-hmm.
DJ Premier,
Mm-hmm.
all of them, they support the kid.
Exactly.
So it's like, what are you really hating on?
That,
Just
yeah,
because
that's,
he touched a lot of money?
yeah. Like I don't know what it is, but it's
And
like,
listen, like the Kendrick Lamar, yeah, he has some club bangers like swimming pools and like other shit here and there, but I think to the most part he has not sold out. Like
no,
he's
and
remained humble. His bars are still held up to a specific standard. He will remind y'all that he can freaking murk you on a beat.
and not only that, but it's like like once you get to that level, it's like everyone's looking at you through a crystal ball, waiting for you to just do something where they'll be like, "Ah, I knew it." But for reals though, like people are just waiting for you to like do something sideball, like come through the sides and do something wild, and then that's it. Everyone just, oh, they're gonna just go in after you. Like people forget, hello, everybody's human, and it just, I don't know, it's crazy though. It's really crazy to me how that's why I don't really like getting into this topic, because it's like I like music overall. And before, like if you would have talked to me 10 years ago about this, I'd be like, man, like you wouldn't hear no radio artist in my playlist. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? I was strictly like listening to what I was getting put on from other artists that I was doing music with at the time, or listening to only local artists and stuff like that. But I realized like you got to open your ear to new stuff. So I hate this topic, to be honest with you, but being that I'm an artist and that I do radio and did the whole music thing, like I'm open to talk about it, but it's stupid to me because everyone's so opinionated. Like you're not gonna
Because it's
please
all
everyone.
opinionated based. That's
Exactly.
what it is. I hate it too because I think it's really, I like picking at it because I think I do make some valid points, but I hate when people are so stubborn and just shut out any type of like, criticism or trying to discuss
Yeah.
what the point. Like they
Some
just
people are just like walls. Like it's either their opinion or they whatever they strongly believe in, and that's that. Like if you're going against them, like, oh, screw you. You know what I'm saying?
Israel Sanchez, he put regarding to Rosenberg's comment, slight truth. The bigger issue is that radios are shutting out other styles. Back in the day, you heard radio, street pop, lyricism, all types of rap on the radio. Now it's just one style, and they don't even rap, which makes it hard not to get mad. It's all right. I'll turn up to the shit, but I'll shit on their own beat though.
Yeah, straight Joyner Lucas that shit. That's all he's doing right now. Shout out to Joyner Lucas. Like that's what that dude is doing. He's getting all these kids, or it could be your favorite artist right now. He's taking their beats and killing it. Like and he'll be like, I ain't dissing them. But to me it's like, bro, you're shitting on people on their own beat. Like you're damn near dissing them, bro. Like if you're killing their beat every time. You know what I'm saying? So that was a valid comment.
And then if we go like way back to when like hip hop started, it's like the first hip hop song that made it into the charts was Sugar Hill Gang's Rapper's Delight.
Yeah.
Does that sound hip hop to you? To what you're comparing it to when you're talking about Nas?
Yeah, and there's gonna
when you're
be
talking about Wu-Tang Clan? Sounds nothing like it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's all to people's point of view. That's when he's going back to the Curtis Blow comment.
Mm-hmm.
It's like ODB fans, you can't compare ODB to Curtis Blow. It's a totally different style, yet it's still considered hip hop by the mainstream.
And that's just it though. It's like that's the the Rapper's Delight. Like there, like I don't know if you've seen documentaries and stuff, but there was so much back and forth with that, and how that was like part of the disco era. They were trying to make something popular that gravitated in the club and stuff like that. So there's so many people from that era that's like, that ain't hip hop, but that was the birth to the world. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a cultural thing, and it was about passion and people rapping in the park and rapping for the community. But that took it to a whole nother level and started getting these very talented people paid. Not necessarily them, but they were like, they stood out and became a voice for so many more. So it's like, it's a bittersweet thing.
If you see The Get Down, if you guys have ever seen The Get Down on Netflix, remember that series? And it was all about hip hop. It all started in the disco era. Like hip hop was birthed through the disco era, and it will show you how it just kind of evolved from there.
Yeah, you're probably gonna get backlash for that, but
Why?
no, well, it's true, but people are like, nah, hell no. Like hip hop, when disco was out, hip hop was already being done. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't brought to the world's attention yet. You know what I'm saying? So people be like,
Okay.
hip hop ain't disco. No, that's what I'm saying though. Like I agree to what you're saying, but I'm saying like people will bash that. Like trust me. You remember
And
that?
listen
you remember
again.
That, you remember that video I was that video I did about that? I forgot that hip hop song I did at the beach swap meet.
Okay.
There was some dude that is like, I trust me. I got scolded for it about what I was saying in my lyrics. Like, what are you talking about, disco? And it's like, trust me. And I was just like, okay, you know, I'm gonna hear your piece, and I ain't gonna argue with you. But that's what I'm saying. Some people are be like, fuck disco, but that's all music just circulating. You know, people bite from every genre. It don't matter what you said, but Nas said it best. No style's original. Nobody in this world's original. Like you learned or got inspired from something
And made it into your own style.
Exactly, because like I said, everyone's unique in their own way. You're gonna take a little bit from here, a little bit from there, and make it your sound. Hopefully, that you're not trying to sound like everybody else right now, but you make it your own little style, your own little sound. But that's what I'm saying. Like based on what she said about disco right now, or based on what I'm talking about, people are gonna have an opinion about that. Like that's not facts. They're gonna pull out their fact book like a Pokédex. Let me find all this info that I could just bash them about.
Exactly.
Like, come on, pull out your receipts, please. I'm waiting.
There's this Africa Bombada quote that says, a lot of times when people say hip hop, they don't know what they're talking about. They just think of the rappers. When you talk about hip hop, you're talking about the whole culture and movement. You have to take the culture for what it is. And if we do get into hip hop, it's made up of the 4 elements: graffiti, breakdancing, DJing, and rapping, right?
MCing, yeah.
So MCing, yeah. So what you may not consider, it kind of sucks because I think the tastemakers and whoever is working in the mainstream, they just dumped everyone together and called it hip hop. Whatever sound it may be, just because they're rapping, they put it under the hip hop category. And rapping is really just, rhyming with the flow, right?
Hey, I'm about to check you right now, bro.
You're going to check me?
Yeah.
Oh, we're really doing this.
Yeah, elements of hip hop.
Yes.
You missed one.
Knowledge is the
you
fifth
missed one. You said 4.
Because those are the 4 core ones. Now, knowledge is that like secret one for those rappers that are conscious
I'm just saying.
rappers.
No, see, I'm just saying though. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to save you before people start backlashing at you like, oh, you guys are all over the place with this. I'm just trying to help you. You know what I mean?
Hey, I know my shit. I know my shit. So knowledge, right? But the knowledge.
ARS knowledge. What?
The knowledge part only applies to rappers like KRS-One that are teaching shit through their rap. You know what I'm saying? So if we get into it, then I guess like that's like adding that 5th element. That's what's really considered hip hop to the purist. Is that you're saying something of value in your lyrics.
Who can you think of right now? Like 5 artists that are new.
Oh shit, you gonna put me on?
No, I'm trying to think in my mind right now that are actually like putting on people on game like right now.
I like Joey Badass.
Oh yeah, he's dope off top.
Joey Badass, his last album, he said a lot of things that were controversial, and it made it to a mainstream level to some extent. So if you're one of the people that actually pay attention to lyrics, you can benefit from at least hearing his point of view on certain things like politics and what's going on in our social
racism.
Like
the social injustice that's going on. He touches on that subject, and there's a lot of artists that do, but when you could bring it to a mainstream level and sound good, like have melodies and have like good sound to it that just it feels good and it has a message, you win. To me, in my book, you win when you could do that. You know what I'm saying?
How about you?
Right now,
Like, I know you're more into like that type of like subgenre. And I call it subgenre because, like,
because she's a hater. Nah,
I'm not a hater. I'm just saying you
no,
have
no,
to
no. I
take it for
understand.
what it is. Like
Yeah,
what it
it's
what
not.
it
It's not
says.
gonna be the first thing when you think of hip hop today. The first thing when you hear hip hop, you're not gonna think of the knowledge and conscience and all the good stuff, the qualities of where hip hop was birthed from. You're not gonna hear that when you think of hip hop. When you think of hip hop, you're gonna pull up a
To the
post and it's gonna be like the turn up music of today.
Yeah, and that's like to the average listener, to the people that don't really do their research or care too much to dig into like the past and what paved the way. That's what you're gonna get. You type in hip hop on Google and you're gonna get like 50 Cent, or you're gonna get like, oh my god, I just burped and I hope you guys didn't hear that. You're gonna get like Designer. You're gonna get
It's the coffee.
Migos. And that's what you're gonna get when you Google that. But if you really, I think if you're an avid listener and you're really interested into knowing the history, you're one of those people that goes back and does your research and tries to be open-minded to, and that really just applies to the new generation. Like I'm talking about like my brother, he was born in 97, right? So whatever's out right now on the radio, like Trippie Redd, like he puts me up on these artists like, oh, that's Trippie Redd. And I'm like, who the fuck is Trippie Redd? Like, I don't know. Like, and sometimes he be like, I get in his car and he bumps like certain music. And I'm like, I dig this. Who's this? And then he tells me like, it's Cap G. I'm like,
Cap
who
G
are
is
these
dope.
people? Like, but I like it. It's like, it's cool. This is what you're listening to now. But he also knows, it goes back to the each one teach one. You gotta kind of like teach the younger generation where it kind of came from. Like I got into Wu-Tang Clan. I got into Lords of the Underground. I got into, Pac. So I would try to put the atmosphere. I would try to put my brother up on certain artists, and he knows the music of these certain artists. Like he's a atmosphere fan. Like, but it's not his generation. If it wasn't for me passing down what I know, he wouldn't know of that type of rap.
Exactly, and it's like, and we can't be mad at them. Like they're gonna like what they like, and they're not gonna like. Think about it. Like I don't know if you have older parents or like my parents were young when they had me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I kind of grew up listening to what they're listening to and being okay with it. And I've always liked even older music. But there's some kids who be like, man, you guys listen to that when you were young? Like that's garbage, or they'll clown. So it's like you can't really be mad at the kids for liking what they like, but it's like if they are interested and eager to learn or get put up on game about like what moved you when you were younger or what you like to listen to, and then you turn them on to that, and then they're like, man, this actually has some good quality, then that's what's dope. But they're not all gonna like it, and they're not all gonna understand. Back to people being opinionated, you know what I mean? Like people aren't gonna like what you like, and that's it. So most of the time, so I don't know. It's crazy. It's a good topic, but to me, I'm just like, fuck it.
I remember like, yeah, and like going back to like how people get so defensive about it. I remember, okay, so I told you guys last episode that I used to blog and I used to hit up like the local shows like at the observatory. Shout out to Out the House, because they would have me out there watching a show, and then I would write on their website, and I would write like concert reviews, right? So that's really how I got my start into the scene. And I would hit up like your Dilated People shows, your Atmosphere shows, your Rock the Bells, your Pay Dues. But I would also go to the Future shows and the 2 Chainz. And early on, when Migos was popping off with...
We were just discussing this.
Yes, we were just discussing this because, I don't know if we touched on how there's this really strong hip-hop community online.
Oh, there always is those strong cult following things that are on there.
Exactly. So, well, I had this girl once... she was trying to discredit my hip hop knowledge because and she got other people involved too, and she was in my comments just trolling the fuck out of me because she was like, how can you call yourself a quote unquote hip hop head, or that you are hip hop when you're at a 2 Chainz show. Like, she was calling me a traitor or something to that extent. She was just going in at me and kind of like trying to discredit my entire knowledge of the culture. And I remember, I think all I told her was, I am trying to be in media. So as a person in media, I need to be open-minded about what's out there. And if you don't like that artist, if you don't, what's getting you so heated about me being at a 2 Chainz show? Like, I don't understand. How does that affect you?
She probably didn't get no tickets.
Shut up. But no, and check this out. Like I think like a half a year later, she got into, like, she sent me like a message request because I think I had blocked her or some shit like that, because I was like, I'm not dealing with this, because those topics would get me so heated. Like, they would really get to me, because I'm just like, people were closed off to hearing anything I had to say, right? So I'm like, whatever, like, I don't need to be defending myself to a fucking stranger. So I'm like, whatever, and she had sent me a message, and I think she had gotten into some type of mainstream artist or something, and she sent me like some apology, and she was like, I'm sorry if I went in on you, I was being closed-minded, but I did wanna, I think she was a blogger too, and she was doing like this piece on mainstream versus whatever, like the underground or whatever. And she's like, last time you made some valid points, and I wanted to like pick at the discussion a bit more, and I wanted to get your opinion again on it for this thing that I'm writing, and without me being biased, and I understand that that I was wrong for judging you, blah blah blah. And I left that shit on red because I was like, we're gonna freaking get into it. Apology accepted, but I'm not gonna tell you.
She's got to meet up with someone on Facebook and box over an opinion.
And
run it.
Then I went on her page, and she was actually hitting up some mainstream shows. So I was all like, okay, yeah, you're a motherfucking hypocrite, which I don't give a fuck. But it goes back to, at some point, you're gonna be moved by some kind of mainstream artist, or cause come on, you're gonna be at the club, you're gonna be getting your dick rubbed by some ass, and that's what that bitch likes. So you're gonna be enjoying it, right? And that goes to the Purist. Yo, bitch can only grind on you if she's listening to.
Yeah, that's just like,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know, it's crazy. That's always been a topic. Like, that's a good topic that you brought up. Is like, girls.
There's club music.
No. But there's girls that are like, oh, I ain't a hoe. But then you turn on some ratchet music and they'll be the first ones shaking their ass to that shit. It's like, okay, weirdo, but I guess they're doing it only for their man. But how about the ones that are out there doing it for every man? Like, okay.
Yo.
But, they're the first ones to be like, don't you be calling me no bitch and no hoe. And then they're the first ones shaking their ass when that song comes on, talking about like, oh, this song just good. I like this song. I'm going to just dance to it. Like, okay.
Exactly. You don't necessarily have to support the freaking song, but that's what's going to get you freaking moving when you do go out to the club. Like, come on, I can't grind on my man listening to Life's a Bitch by Nas. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Music is crazy itself, and there's no explanation for some of our actions sometimes. When that alcohol and that music gets in you, it's like you turn into another person talking about, oh, that, that was nothing. That was just a little something. But I don't know. Again, it's really your guys' opinion on all this. We just brought it up to just piss you guys off.
We just wanted to stir up the pot.
I am hip hop. Well, come at me, bro. I'm hip hop. Come on. No, but bro, we're learning every single day. Like, hello, I'm in my mid-20s. You know what I'm saying? I was born in 1991. So I am not, or will I ever say that I'm like the hip hop messiah? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still learning as I go, and I love that I'm learning, and I love that I have so much to learn and understand. Because I hate when like an older head or like these older artists have ever tried to check me. Like, thanks for the heads up. You know what I'm saying? But bro, like, I'm still learning as I go. Don't be mad at me because I'm trying to learn. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We were talking about it in the first episode. Like, we are understanding and we're humble enough to respect what others got to say, But like I said, we're trying to learn as we go in this too. We're not know-it-alls, and we're just taking a jab at it and giving our approach to everything. But like I said, like this was a great topic because it's a heated discussion all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's just as bad as politics. You know what I'm saying? This is hip hop
Hip hop
politics.
politics.
But it's like it's just as bad. You know what I mean? We're like, man, those people are stupid. They're in suits and they're arguing about all this shit about the government, all that. This is just as bad. People get all pissed off and get all blood pressure high and everything over this discussion. You know what I'm saying? People are willing to stab somebody over this shit just because, my favorite rapper's this or favorite rapper's that or this is the hardest ever. Like, bro, it's all history. It's all going down. Take notes. This is going to be noted in history. You know what I'm saying? So don't matter who's dope or who's not. Like this, people that are whack, that are on top of the game, they're going to go down in history. People that are dope, hopefully they like Mozart and they'll live on forever. Like it would be interesting to see Tupac, Biggie, Nas, Jay-Z to go down and be music that has longevity as Mozart's music. Some people will disagree, like, why would you say that? That's classical music compared to hip-hop or whatever. But I'm just saying, just think about it. In 100 years, you and I, we may be forgotten. But what if we left something behind that lives that long or surpasses that? But think about these people's legacy, what they left behind, which has given us more things to be inspired by, sounds to remember, things to remember, and it's going to be gone. They're gone. But I'm saying like their legacy, them will live, they will live forever. So that's what I'm saying. That's what's tight. It's like I would wish to be able to see that or to know that's what's going to happen, because we don't know what's going to happen. Who knows if Tupac or Snoop Dogg and all them are going to be a household name 200-300 years from now, being that we still exist, people still exist on earth and they haven't blown each other up, because people are crazy as hell, more crazier than ever. But that's what's interesting to me is that hip hop came from nothing, became something, and now it's kind of sad how it's just being tossed around and stuff like that. But it became something then more bigger than what it ever was. And this was just an idea at one point. This was just an art, a passion. And this was people who came from the ghetto, people who came from nothing, came together. And it was about unity at one point.
Right.
And now it's like, it's saturated, oversaturated. It's,
people have just molded it into what they want, can bank off of, or, you know what I'm saying?
And you know what I say, like, I could say we're a part of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying we're trying to bank off of it, but there's business opportunities in passion now, in the passion that we're chasing. So, hey, we could be another pawn in this scheme. You know what I mean? We can be another pawn to this chess game or whatever, but it's like we're trying to go in it open-minded and understanding that we respect those that came before us and we respect the game, and we put it on a high pedestal and platform so that we know what we're getting ourselves into, and that there's respect comes first and all that other stuff will come after that. You know what I mean? So.
And listen, if the issue is, the popping pills with this new artist and all their actions that they're doing and how it makes other like the younger generation or the people listening to it do it too. Guess what? Don't be raising weak-minded kids.
Yep.
Because
whip your kid's ass. People ain't whipping their kids' ass. I get tired of going to the store, hearing kids scream at the top of their lungs, kicking their mom in the ass, smacking people. Like, whip your fucking kids. And whip your kid's ass.
And back then when you had NWA out, Ice Cube out, Snoop, it wasn't gangster rap putting a gun to your freaking kid's hand. That's your kid having self-will. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
they were just...
It's the same thing.
They're raising awareness. They're raising awareness about their surroundings and what they're going through. A lot of people don't agree. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, opinionated based, and people that are biased and people that are just like gun hold on their beliefs are going in at other people because they do not understand. When you don't understand, you get upset. That's why sometimes we can't have conversations with certain people, because we get upset at the way they view things. And then we're like, oh, fuck it. I ain't cool with you. You know what I mean? People get so mad at others, but we're trying to understand here. And the best way to understand is realize that we are all ignorant on certain things. And to kill that ignorance, you have to be willing to learn their beliefs or accept it because you want to push your opinion so hard, but you're not willing to listen to the other people. So then there's never going to be a medium at all.
Mm-hmm.
So back to what she was saying is like, raise your kids right, and
and to not be followers.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
if you're listening to this type of music, just because Lil Pump is popping Xanax doesn't mean you gotta go do it too. Enjoy the music, because obviously you're listening because you like the music, but that doesn't mean go out there and you know, be abusing the drugs that they're talking about.
Exactly. That, and back on that topic, like some of your parents, some of your grandparents listen to music, didn't even have to be rap or hip hop or any of that. It could have been who knows
rock and
what.
roll
It could
with
have been
acid
anything.
trips
Exactly.
and shit.
Drugs and music have been collaborating for decades. So understand, like, it opens the mind to other aspects. Some kids do drugs and they don't do shit with their life. You know what I'm saying? But there's some people that for some reason, or they assume, or it, some of the best musicians, you know, rest in peace, in the world, some of the greatest musicians were heavy drug abusers. They gone through a lot of problems, and for some reason all those problems created the best sounding music, the best stories, the best albums. So it's like, I don't know, drugs and music kind of blend, but I'm not saying that it's a good thing, but I'm not going to be against it. You know what I mean? But for some reason, when there's music, drugs sometimes are indulged or a part of it, but it's like too much of anything's bad for you. Shit, too much drinking coffee is not the safest for you. You know what I mean? And we're all addicts to something. So I just think stop bashing everybody about what they are doing or not doing. But it's like Stace said, do not be a follower. You know what I'm saying? It's experience life a little bit. Try different things. But don't go out there and do something stupid because everybody's doing it. And then you're laying up in the hospital like, oh, man, I didn't know this was going to happen. Like, you know, too much of anything is bad for you,
Too
bro.
much of everything will kill you.
So just watch yourself. Slow your roll. Take everything in portions. You know what I mean? Like this podcast. It's All in Check Podcast. Check us out. StaceFresh actually just hooked up the website. Shit's popping. I was telling about new music coming out. Next thing you know, it's on the website. Like, teamwork makes the dream work, bruh.
Yeah. So, going back to that Peter Rosenberg, either roll with it or just listen to your 90s playlist and shut up.
Yeah.
Like, I can tell you that I don't fuck with a lot of these new artists, or I'm not up to par with what's going on recently, like, you know, but what's on my playlist all the time is like Ice Cube. Like, I have a lot of 90s shit. That's what I stay in my little bubble for the most part, unless I really, like, you know, get out there or have to do it for like me blogging or me checking out for the sake of like my creative process. But, you know, I consume whatever it is that I want to consume.
Exactly.
No one's holding a gun up to my head like, you got to listen to Lil Yachty. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if I accidentally listen to a Lil Yachty song and it grows on me, then okay, I let that be that. But I'm not going to be a diehard fan. I'm still going to listen. I still have the ability to listen to whatever I want to listen to. I don't have to get into heated debates about why he sucks and you should be listening to my freaking Atmosphere songs or Murs or, you know, Wu-Tang Clan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to let you do you.
Artists, don't get, all you independent artists out there, don't get mad if the people you want closest to you don't fuck with your music. Not everyone's gonna like your music, bro, and that's just the honesty in that. You got to understand that. And there's gonna be tons of people that do that you would have never thought, you know, complete strangers. So it's like, don't lose hope in that. You just have to understand, like, everything ain't for everybody. So, and that's just it at the end of the day. And like Stace is saying, like, we have the world in the palm of our hands. It's called a cell phone. That thing's either gonna kill us one day or give us cancer or something crazy. But
like the phones were exploding.
Yeah,
people's
but
faces
that thing though has everything. It's like the world in the palm of your hand. You could look and search up everything, do research. Not all of it is facts. Not all of it is facts. Understand that. But whatever it is you're studying, just do different researches on that one thing, and you'll find out so much. If you want to learn. Use that phone. That's a tool to make money. It's a tool to discover things, or it's a tool for destruction. So use it wisely, but that's how people are getting information and sharing information. We are in a generation of information sharing. You know what I mean? So let's
Each one
dead
teach one.
that. Let's dead that crap. And like StaceFresh, each one teach one. What are we on to the next? What are we doing now?
I want to leave you with, each one teach one. You want to know why? Because that's the only way for all you purists that are trying to keep the culture alive. That's the only way you're going to keep it alive. Teach the younger generation what you're listening to, what you consider hip hop. If they roll with it, they're going to roll with it. And guess what? They're going to teach another person. They're going to teach another person.
I just feel like the super hardcore hip hop fans are just going to be like outside these newer artist concerts with picket signs. Kill this music. Kill, like, you guys sound crazy, bro. Like, just understand, like, there was whack music when the dope artists...
they're gonna flag this episode and they're gonna make Instagram block our shit.
You guys are not hip hop. You guys are not hip hop. It's all in check. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but it is what it is, man. We like, just think about it. We don't, in a sense, I'm like, you know what I mean? We do not. We're technically free here in America, but I don't think we're really free. But in your mind, you can be as free as you want to be. But what I'm saying is, everyone here is entitled to be opinionated. So just deal with it and shut the fuck up. That's it. Mm-hmm. And just respect everyone's opinion, bro. And we'll be able to have better conversations. We'll be able to build better relationships if you learn to respect another person's opinion. You don't gotta like it. You don't gotta agree to it, but you might as well respect it. And then you don't know what could build from that. Mm-hmm. Someone could give you a job and make $1 million if you just learn to respect other people's opinions and hear other people out. That's all it is. So, Stace, what's the word on the streets?
The word on the street. So this is gonna be our little entertainment news segment. So word on the street is that Mary J. Blige has no more drama in her life.
That's good that you're saying no more drama, because I ain't really with the drama, but I seen that you're saying she has no more drama, so I support that.
And Message, it was a single that she had way back if you're a Mary J. Blige fan, so all pun intended. Her and ex-husband Kendu Isaacs finalized their divorce recently. And check this out. So he used to be her manager. And things got really... well, first of all, she had an interview with Good Morning America after she had, asked for the divorce. And she had said that it was irreconcilable differences, whatever that means. But she said that she wasn't getting the respect that she deserved. We all know what that may mean. That may mean like other girls on the side. You know what I'm saying? Like what type of respect? But that's mostly likely it.
Yeah.
So he, when she asked for the divorce, he was demanding $130,000 a month from her for spousal support. That shit's crazy.
Hey, but
I can't respect. First of all, I can't respect a man. Like, you're a man, and you're demanding $130,000 a month.
Yeah, that's crazy.
For spousal support. You're a man. You have the ability to provide for yourself. I understand. So that's
just, I don't know. That just goes. I don't agree to it. Especially not 130, but
that's crazy.
Guess he feels that word. That's like you're just trying to rob her, and I don't see. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not with the drama because I really don't know the whole story to that. We don't know. But what I'm saying though is like, how long was he with her? Like,
they were together 12 years.
Okay, so her fame and her success came way before him, right?
Kinda, yeah.
So she already kind of had her own built, right? Mm-hmm. Then it's like, if she already established that before he came into the picture, then okay. If they went way, way, way higher, then I'd understand a piece or share something, or, hey, you could have the house, I'm going to take this. Or we'll sell the house, you could split it. Sharing, okay, what you guys bought together or went in on together, but not like, oh, I'm demanding this from you. If she already had stardom and success and money and wealth, bro, you ain't touching that. You got to respect her art. But if you guys built something together, you best believe you guys invested years and time you're never getting back. Why don't you guys find a medium? But hey, men and women, when it gets to stuff like that, man.
When shit gets ugly, shit gets ugly.
Especially if there's kids involved, but You know what
Now
I'm saying?
they didn't have any kids, but
So that's a little easier, but that I think Homeboy's asking for way too much money.
he was. So I don't know what agreement they actually reached because it wasn't put out, but they
I'm
reached an
sure they
agreement.
settled on something, but still.
Yeah.
No, but I respect you like that. Like a man's got to do what a man's got to do, and they got to go out there and get theirs. But
Cause that
if
just
they,
seems shady. Like
hey,
that just seems
there's
shady as
other
fuck.
people. There's other people in entertainment that's happened to, like men getting over on the women in the entertainment industry. I don't know the names, but trust me, you know what I'm saying. I've heard tabloids and shit like that where they're talking about topics like that, and some dudes come up.
Mm.
You know, good for them or whatever. But all I'm saying is like, bro, if vice versa, like if you're with a woman for so many years and you guys built something together, I don't know how you feel about certain things, or I don't know, you feel me, but that girl that invested 20 years into your career and she helped you build the company, more or less, maybe she didn't put money, but she created that house
That
into a home. Yeah,
support.
you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Those are like 20 years, 30 years. She's never getting back. She ain't getting those young looks back. She ain't getting all that time back into her life. So, bro, best believe he or she deserves something or some type of understanding, or meet halfway, share some of the wealth or whatever, because people ain't getting that time back. And if you screwed up or they screwed up, hey, there's reasons and there's a two sides to every story, and that's just that. So that's my opinion on that. Like I said, you don't gotta like it, but you will respect it.
And then the next news is that I'm sure you guys have been seeing all the pray for Rick Ross posts.
Oh, I got something to tell you about that off the air. But
say it on air then.
nah,
No.
it's something that I seen that I was like, it's regards to that, but I was like, damn, people's be thirsty out here, bro. But
Was it the post that said like your grandma be at the hospital, but you don't be praying for her, but but you be posting up pray for Rick
it's
Ross?
not that. It's just like it's just part of this whole crap, But I wish the best for him. And then like latest news, I heard that he's doing well and everyone's out here wilding out and stuff like that. But I heard he's doing good. That's that.
Yeah, so thing is that he went in to the hospital for pneumonia, and then they just ended up hooking him up to it ended up being a whole different thing. So he's hooked up to a machine that's helping his heart and his lungs, and they think that he was on the verge of a heart attack. So that's that. Our president keeps on tweeting stuff. He tweeted the other day, lowest rated Oscars in history. Problem is, we don't have stars anymore except your president. Just kidding, of course.
I don't even
Take care of our freaking country and quit tweeting, you Twitter fingers. Like, why are you even tweeting about the Oscars? Just stop. Like,
he probably lays on his stomach, kicking his feet in the air while he's tweeting.
he's tanning.
Yeah. But whatever. Whatever. Let's talk about something else. Anyways, let's get into the new music this week. That we like. Stace got her little picks of the week, and then I got some picks. But obviously, if you don't, so we're gonna probably talk about stuff that you're like, we already know this. You know what I mean? Okay, good for you. But this one's for the people that ain't hip to everything that's popping or coming out right now. So first of all, if you guys have not heard of Joyner Lucas, he is very dope. He's out now. He's grinding. He's been grinding for a long time. Obviously, by his very controversial songs and videos.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the latest release he just dropped was Joyner Lucas, Look Alive. Killing beats. The hottest ones out. The hottest artists dropping songs. He'll take that, jack your beat, kill you on it. That's what he's been doing. So just look up Joyner Lucas, Look Alive, and listen to it. I'm not going to sit here and spit bars about it or give you lyrics or quotes in it that he's saying, but just listen to that song. Check it out. You can find it on YouTube. I'm sure everywhere else. Just type it in. Joyner Lucas, Look Alive. Listen to the bars. He kills it. Second one that I found was Fonte's album. This is his second album, I do believe. I could be completely wrong.
No,
but as a solo artist, this is his second album. He does sing and harmonize a bit, but this one he mostly went in on bars on this album, and this one touched home for me like a lot because he is part of, like, I could say so many artists are, but he is kind of part of one of the reasons why I started rapping over Ninth Wonder beats, because when it was Fonte and Big Pooh with Ninth Wonder, they were little brother, which was so dope. And that's around the time that I started getting a grip of Ninth Wonder beats. And then after doing homework, most of those Ninth Wonder beats that I was rapping over or trying to write to were little brother songs. So then that's what made me like fall more in love with the sound of Little Brother and what Ninth Wonder was creating. And that's how I understood and learned more about those North
Carolina.
Exactly,
cats.
the talent.
Shout out to North Carolina.
So, in regards to that, this is a great album. I feel like, he stepped away for a little bit and came back even harder. Like, a lot of people were waiting on it, but I respect that a lot, because it's like some days I feel like, damn, I'm falling off. Or there's so many people putting out content every week, dropping a song, that he kind of laid low for a while and then just dropped some heat. And it's like he never left, to me at least. That good artists, like, you don't sleep on them, but it's like some people go through things, bro, and some people are like they're in different parts of their life or trying to handle their stuff, and they get back into it, they give it 100%, and it's just dope to hear that. And I'm just happy for this project. I don't want to be on it too much, but what I'm saying is check it out. It's Fonte. No news is good news. I believe it's a really great album, and he always has something good to say, so it's worth listening to. You, Stace?
So Lil Wayne just put out a new single, and it's called Vising, and there's rumors that he's going to be dropping some new material too. So that's for you guys that like Lil Wayne. I stumbled upon this artist called Deshawn. I hope I'm saying it right. Deshawn. And it's called Choose Love.
It's dope. She showed it to me earlier, and
it's a really dope song.
We're gonna definitely reach out to him. I'm not sure if he's a brand new artist or has been around for a while, but he's growing. That's a dope song. It had a real good feel to it, good vibes to it, and that's definitely a dope song.
And then Prime, that's Royce the 5'9" and DJ Premier. They linked up with 2 Chainz on a song called Flirt, and going back to like the purists, the hip hop heads, they're gonna support Royce the 5'9" and DJ Premier, but once they get on this song with 2 Chainz, they're gonna hate a little bit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But to some extent, Royce and DJ Premier linked up with him for a reason. They may see something in him, some kind of bars that he brings to the table or whatever, and you collaborating with these artists is kind of giving them a cosign.
Yeah, not only that though, but even there's some kids or people that only like 2 Chainz that may hear this song or be scrolling, and then that, since it's a newer song, it pops up at the top of the feed or whatever, and they'll listen to it, be like, damn, who are these cats? And then they realize this sounds like some real hip hop, and it introduces them to that. It's people that never heard of Royce or or Primo. So it's like, you never know what could happen. It's gonna work for both of them, obviously.
For both
people
worlds,
are just gonna hate. You know what I'm saying? People won't understand it or are gonna disagree with it. But hey, 2 Chainz is doing his thing though, man. I can't knock it, and he's dope. I don't listen to every song, but you know what I'm saying. There's songs
some
that caught
caught
my ear, and he spits crazy. Like his cadence, his style, it's dope. It stands out to me. You know what I'm saying? The last one I put on here. Actually, I thought I was done, but the last one I did was obviously Independent Master. Shout out to Nipsey again, but this is also another artist who's been doing this forever. My sister put me up on game to this artist like early 2000, I want to say. So I was a kid then, for sure a kid. But Tech Nine is dope. He just put out another album called Planet. I haven't listened to it all the way, but I gotta say the song Comfortable is dope. And he talks about a lot of radio politics and interviews and stuff like that in that song. So it's really tight. I like it. So if you guys get a chance, all these songs that we're talking about is easy to find. All you got to do is Google it or replay this so you could remember again. But Tech Nine's album Planet, he puts out so much content and is killing it independently. He doesn't need no one backing him. I'm just supporting it because I'm a fan of his music, and I support his hustle because, like I said, he's killing it independently. So that is that. But again, Planet from Tech Nine.
Hey, shout out to whoever followed our website. Our
Nice.
website is hosted by Tumblr, and we just got a follow,
Yeah.
which is dope.
All right. So.
Oh, and okay, so going back to this, we've been working on the site. So allincheckpodcast.com. You guys can find everything that we're talking about, all these new songs, up on the site. So if you guys want to go back in there and listen to whatever we talked about, you guys can go ahead and listen to the songs there too.
And if you guys want to see everyone's comments that we shouted out and mentioned their comments, you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook, All in Check Podcast. That's all you got to search, and you will find all the information. You could bash us. You could talk shit to us. We might talk shit back, or you guys could just let us know your opinion on the topics that we post. Thank you, guys. So, listen, let's get into the artists that you were talking about. Again, we're going back to submissions. If you submit your music, there's a high chance that you will be played on our show.
Exactly. And we do go through these and listen to all of them. So, do you want me to go first?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So what I picked was Jay Swerve. He's 28 from Riverside, California. So right around this neck of the woods. And he says he's been passionate since 12 for music. And he submitted Good Time off of his latest mixtape, Afterlife. And you guys can definitely check him out on Twitter and on Instagram at Jay Swerve. And that's spelled JSWURVE. So we're going to get into that.
All right. This song is called Good Time by Jay Swerve. Let's get into that. Yeah.
Hey.
All in check.
Yeah. I put in a lot of work. Yeah. Just to see you smile. Vibe with me. Bounce with me. This one's for you. Yeah. Yeah, I see you, baby. Yeah, I see you, baby. You walk in them hills, make them go crazy. You amaze me. You never lazy. I be the one breaking your walls down like hate it. Peace, love to hate it. Let's talk about it, baby, but not really. We can practice tonight, maybe. I treat you like a lady, but you like a slut. I hit it back, hand marks on your butt. I'm always in the cut, minding my own business. And tell your girlfriends to stay the hell up out our business. As God is my witness, your legs got me hooked. Open up them thighs like a page from a book. Be a crook, getting your girl took. She working late tonight with a snake, don't look. It hypnotized bitches like car. Now she hooked, my bed neat and dry. Let's change how it look. I'm not saying you're the one that I'm trying to wife, baby. I just wanna have a good time. Yeah. Come and chill with me and you'll see just what I mean, lady. I'm just trying to get inside. Yeah. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. You said you lost yourself in the moment and I found it. I love how you doubt it, even when it's crowded. Public bathroom, perfect place to hop up on it. You know I always want it, I'm always gon' flaunt it. Stick it, beat it, and if I die, I'ma haunt it. That thing got me sprung, put this on your tongue for fun. Lay in the sun, silly faces till she done with them bums. She met a real one, us two be too cool. Threesome with a crew, she know just what to do. Till she blue, I bless her with a follow, so she ain't gon' out you. Girl, come through, you know just what to do. Daytime she classy, at night she Betty Boo. True, who gon' do you like I do? Rejected me for months, now I'm up. I'm not saying you're the one that I'm trying to wife, baby. I just wanna have a good time. Yeah. Come and chill with me and you'll see just what I mean, lady. I'm just trying to get inside. Yeah, just trying to get inside. Yeah, you see a don't care for attention, pimping, limping. You know it's heavy when I'm gripping. Ain't talking about a pistol. She blow it like a whistle, a simple nibble, and she'll explode like a missile. Drizzle a little, cleaning lady gon' hit you. Leaking cause I played with the like a fiddle. Hey, diddle, just stay for a little. I pray for your temple to lay. I be gentle, you may shake a little. Okay, for sentimental, obey, and I be with you for play. Just to tease you, you slay the competition. We share the same vision, body me exquisite. Get a text that I can hit it. A snippet of the lyrics, get it hot like a skillet. The things this girl do, man, her father would prohibit. Ooh, I'm not saying you're the one that I'm trying to wife, baby. I just wanna have a good time. Yeah. Come and chill with me and you'll see just what I mean, lady. I'm just trying to get inside. I'm not saying you're the one that I'm trying to wife, baby. I just wanna have a good time. Yeah. Come and chill with me and you'll see just what I mean.
It's that feel good music.
I'm just trying to get inside.
Oh, are you? That was Jay Swerve with Good Time. You know what that reminded me of? Like, I mean, I'm not trying, don't come at me because I made this comment, but it kind of gives me that like West Coast, how do you want it, Tupac kind of vibe.
Yeah.
You know,
Definitely
especially with the content.
It's like a smooth West Coast vibe to it. Really good. Guys, let us know what you think about the track. You know what I mean? This is the platform where you guys could judge it pretty much based on what you think is hip-hop and not. You know what I mean? Going back on that. But let us know your opinion. And again, artists, send us music. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys want to hear your music on this podcast, go ahead and send us the music. We will play it.
allincheckpodcast@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. And you can follow, again, Jay Swerve over on Twitter and Instagram at JSWURVE.
Mm-hmm. So this next song that I'm going to play for y'all is called 808s and Eighths by my good homie Mosin Rap. This is a song that I chose. This dude has multiple albums out right now. It's news to me, but it's like this. It's really crazy that this dude has not been signed yet or blown up yet. You know, and I'm not just gassing him up, but this dude's work ethic is wild. Follow him and see his work ethic. It's crazy. Stupid crazy. Like, I'm not envious of this man, but I want to work as hard as this man and put out as much content as him. As far as producing, mixing, mastering, and writing and creating songs and hooks, amazing choruses too. So check out this joint. Big ups to Mosin Rap, Black Noise. You got 808s and Eighths. Tune in.
Let's go.
I be serving your black. 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 Yeah, I be serving your black. I said I be serving your black with them 808s and eighths. Yeah, 808s and eighths. 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 3.5 will do you right, and an eighth if anything will get you right. I might have to make a huge order tonight, not the cop, but the drop. Fuck a cop, fuck a stop. I'm the deal, so what's the deal? I hope to feel so you can feel, so I can fill up my pockets. Social markets cost targets. I aim at shit with my 808s. I make beats, but not this one. Just X put the drums in my plate. Canada sounds great on Cali flows, bitch. Calculate sounds great, but nobody knows shit. Should I know one thing? I'ma need 22 for the whole thing. To the money I'm attached with no string. Call me your act and I'ma go cut. I'll be serving your black. 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 Yeah, I'll be serving your black. I said I'll be serving your black with them 808s and eighths. Yeah, 808s and eighths. 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 What's louder? 808s and eighths. Go. What's louder? The bass or the OG? I swear to God, each track is an OZ. My neighbors be nosy, cause they can hear and smell all the greatness around me. I ain't gotta answer to nobody. I can smell the bullshit from Hawaii. I can see through whatever's carefree. free. So if it's bomb, then you probably got it from me. I'm connected with the Armenians, only premiums, never mediums. And their chemist loves my 808s. He's a Peruvian god with high stakes. He's on his way to my pad with a pack without shake. Down I break and spread it out like an 808. And then I stay put until an update. You know when the ideas formulate, right? Additional stimulation, in between music conjugation. The congregation is black noise. No obligation, just combinations of 808s and 808s and 8s, nigga. 808s and 808s. I be serving your black. 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 Yeah, I be serving your black. I said I be serving your black with them 808s and 8s. Yeah, 808s and 8s. 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 I got the weed in the beats. 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 I got the weed in the beats.
Hey. Mosin Rap with the 808s and 8s. You know what I'm saying? So you guys can follow him on Instagram. All his music is available on SoundCloud. It is for free. Download it. Or maybe try to get in contact with him and pay for his content because it's dope. You know what I'm saying? So support all these artists that we are previewing and giving you guys a taste of their music, a sample of their sound. Make sure you guys are out here and support these artists. These are artists from the area or from all around the states and the world that we are giving them that platform to share their music with all you guys. So make sure you guys check them out on Instagram or SoundCloud at Mozenraf. MOZENRAFF. Mozenraf. So, all right, so that was that.
And again, if you're an artist and want to submit music to get played on our podcast or for us to review, etc., you guys can reach us out at, oh my God, not reach us out.
Reach out to us.
Reach out to us.
And I ain't cutting
Sorry,
this.
I stopped drinking my coffee, so it's wearing off. allincheckpodcast@gmail.com. So make sure you guys email us and give us some music submissions.
Check out the website. It's newly updated. Most of the music we talked about today is going to be up on the website, whether there's a download link or a listen link or YouTube and all that. It's going to be on the website. So check out the website. It was created on Tumblr. So make sure you guys follow that. If you guys want to follow us on the Tumblr or our website. If you guys are
still on that Tumblr tip, you guys can follow us and get the updates on your feed.
So there's that. And then make sure to follow us on Instagram at All in Check Podcast. We do have a SoundCloud, All in Check Podcast. We are on iTunes. Obviously, this is a podcast, so we need to put it on that. And
subscribe to us. Hit that subscribe button.
Yes, subscribe, rate, review, all that. Hook us up. Help us out. You know what I mean? Your guys' support gets us very far. And also, YouTube. I upload our audio to YouTube so you guys can hear it. There's 3 ways to listen to it. If there's something else you guys would like us on, we will try our best to get on that platform. We have been trying different avenues, but right now we are on 3, and anyone with a smartphone, tablet, or computer can listen to us. See, there's ways. If there's a will, there's a way. So just tune into us. I'm signing out. I'm ARS.
And I'm StaceFresh.
This is the All in Check Podcast.
See you on the next episode.
Peace.